In 2018, I went for the first time in Mykonos and I was working there as a waiter for 50 euro for 12 hours every single day. And in 2022, I went in Mykonos for the first time and within 13 days, I spent 125,000 euro. And I'm about to tell you the whole story. So everything started in 2018 when I first dropped out from my university, and I decided to do this because I wanted to follow my dream, and my dream was to become a DJ. So on the way from Thessaloniki to Mykonos, I was sitting in the bus station. I was about to take the bus and I had my suitcase next to me and my laptop and my DJ controller, and while I was talking on the phone, someone came and stole it. So I'm going heartbroken in Mykonos without any controller, without nothing. And I already have spoke to one club that I was about to work there, and then I went there and I didn't have a controller. So this day was the day that my DJ dream completely died. So I went to Mykonos and I had like around 100, 120 euro or something like this. I didn't have any more money, so I rented the place for 3-4 days, and then I had to stay on the streets because I didn't have no more money. At the same time, I couldn't ask for money from my mom because my mom already was spending money to my sisters. We didn't have like a lot of money, and in order for me to live in Mykonos, I was supposed to ask my mom for 50 to 70 euro every single day, and she couldn't afford it, so I had to stay on the street. So I was sleeping under a bridge for a couple of days till I met drug dealers in Mykonos, these Pakistan drug dealers, and I asked them to give me a place that I can sleep for the night, and they actually were very friendly with me and they gave me a place, and I stayed with them to an abandoned apartment that they used to stay, and I was sleeping on the floor for 2 weeks till I found a job. And once I found a job, I started working to a beach bar, and they gave me a place to accommodate me so I can sleep there and go work in the mornings. And this place was a fucking container. We were like 6 people inside, including me. So I was living in this container for 2 months till I left from there and I went to army. And I was sleeping there, but I was so happy because at this point in my life, I had a house to stay, right? I had a bed. And at the same time, I had a job that was making me 50 to 70 euro every single day. The waiter was literally scamming me, was taking all the tips. I wasn't taking anything. And every single time that a customer would give me tips, I would just take everything and I wouldn't give nothing to the waiter. I was doing this, I don't give a fuck. Like, if they see this video, I don't give a fuck. Like, they were scamming me, humiliating me, they were treating me as a slave, and even with the guys that they were in the same level as I was, we had an inside joke and we were saying like, oh, you're the slave 1, I'm the slave 2, slave 3, stuff like this, and we were calling each other like, slave, go there, slave, go do this, slave, go do that. We had fun, but at the same time, it was so painful, it was so humiliating because I would see all these people spending thousands of euros every single day there to just have a bottle of water for 10 euro. And I was like, fuck, like how these people pay 10 euro for a water and I'm working pretty much for 5 waters a day. I would eat only once a day because the food was free in this beach bar. I wouldn't spend any money at all. I wouldn't go out, I wouldn't party, I wouldn't do nothing else other than working and sleeping. And waking up in the morning at around 8 in the morning, and I would work till 10 in the night, something like this, some ridiculous hours, like 12 to 14 hours. People would humiliate me, manager would make fun of me. They were like, I was like a peasant. Every single time that I would talk to these customers, I had this feeling that I'm talking to some alien. I don't know how to explain this. It was like feeling like kings and we were the slaves. And this was my reality. I was excusing this on my mind as it was just a dream, as it was just a challenge that I have to go through in order to become the man I am today. Because this is what happened after. So I left from there, then I joined army, then I went to the USA, then I started my online businesses, and fast forward, I ended up in 2022 being a multi-millionaire. And for the first time in my life, I went to Mykonos as a customer. I had like all this trauma and all this low self-esteem that developed throughout the years by working there, being humiliated, that made me have like such a big gap in my heart that I had to fulfill with materialism. And I was going to all these places that I used to go, like all this, to the supermarkets, to these beach bars, to the beach bar that I even used to work And I went there and spent, I remember like I spent like 3,000 euro. Even the boss came there and told me, yeah, I remember you, like what did you do? Like how did you do it, blah, blah, blah. But in my heart, I had so resentment for all these people and I wanted to solve this by throwing the money. So I was going there, big boss, boom, boom, take tips, this, that. Had like 6 bitches with me, spending money, eating caviar, going to the best clubs, spending tens of thousands of euros. I was going literally crazy. I was an animal. I literally spent, it was the first time that I spent so much money in my life. And I spent 125,000 euro in 13 fucking days, living in a big ass mansion in front of the sea, pool, 2 cars. It was like completely insane. Everyone that remembers me from Mykonos from this summer knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you ask me like if I would do this again, I would do it 1,000 times. I would do it again, because you cannot achieve greatness if you haven't been through trauma and if you haven't been through difficulties. Because imagine that you have a 9-to-5 job, a girlfriend that loves you, like everything is okay, like this is what you want actually, and you would never develop, you will never do something great because you just simply like what you have. But if you have all this trauma, this humiliation, this low self-esteem, that devalued you as a person, then it breaks your heart into pieces. And in order to collect these pieces, you need to become this beast. You need to kill your previous self in order to develop and become this man that you are today. Nobody ever achieved greatness by just living a normal life. And nothing in this life comes easy. And if you think that you will go through no trauma, no difficulties, you are absolutely mistaken. You need all this trauma, you need all these difficulties in order to become the man that you want to be. So that was pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to make money, you should join my OFM program, the OFMillionaires, which I teach people every single day how to become millionaires with their own OnlyFans agencies. And I will show you everything you need to know in order for you to make multiple 5 figures or 6 figures every single month with your own OnlyFans agency. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And I hope I'll see you in the next one. Take care.